Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Some innovations that you can talk about that you engineered at UrbanClap, which has now become the norm that people are using. Anything that you are most proud of?
Oh, there are so many.
That is very humble.
No, but see, that's the beauty of you building things, right? Because whatever you do, which is then carry forwarded for years, is like you become so proud of it that, hey, this is what I did. Like, for instance, when we started, we had a flat commission that we take from all our partners. But we realized that if a customer is calling for a 500 rupee service and if the customer is calling for a 2000 rupee service, it's the same commission that the beautician is paying, but that isn't fair because her travel costs, her costs are constant irrespective of what the price is, right? So we then made a dynamic pricing that for lower ticket sizes, the commission will be low. For higher ticket sizes, the commission will be high. So that is one of the biggest product features that we did. The second thing that I got in is I standardized across cities what brands will be used. So getting in vendors, negotiating with them.
You're talking about beauty products.
Beauty products, beauty product brands, what are going to be used across the country, standardizing the price. So that was the first step towards standardization. The second thing that we did was massive control, because we had questions from customers ki, how do I know that this product that she's carrying is actually original? So we then build an entire warehouse mechanism, and we build awesome logistics and supply chains around making sure that beauticians are now buying from UrbanClap. So that was the third biggest piece that I contributed in building. And in terms of the city of Mumbai, like in my current role, we've become like a supply onboarding engine now. So it's like running in auto mode where my team is comfortably getting supply month on month. So yeah, these are some things that I'm really proud of that helped get UrbanClap to the stage where it is now.
And in terms of the future, like how are you going to make our lives easier going forward, as a company? Because I understand that a lot of people have started using the brand to, for plumbing and for, carpentry work. I heard somewhere that you guys are also helping IKEA,
Yes.
set up furniture, because India is a different market. I don't know if you guys know about IKEA, but in most countries, IKEA is generally do it yourself. In India, we are used to everything being installed for us by the vendors, and I think IKEA didn't have an answer to that, so they kind of tied up with you guys. Anything else you can tell us about how you're going to help change our lives for the better, I hope?
Of course. I mean, making a pampered child more pampered is what our vision is. Yeah, so one day actually we all sat together, like the founders and all the general managers, and we counted the number of times somebody needs a community helper at their place, right? And it was as much as 30 to 32 times. Right, so imagine if
30 to 32 times a month, a day, a year?
A year.
A year.
The minimum. Like we're like बहुत ही conservative भी अगर हमने figure गिना तो 30 to 32 times you would need a community helper, a plumber, electrician, carpenter, beautician, massage therapist, painter. Like all these things, package and mover, pest control, RO repair, like these are things which that people come to your house to service or get things done, AC repair. So there's so many things. So 30 is like the minimum number of times you would need somebody to come to your place and do things for you. And imagine reaching out to different people, like 30 different people to get things done. So how inconvenient is that, right? And imagine just having that one app and calling from there, and like whatever you need, that person is here. So from going to calling your watchman and saying, "Bhaiya, आज मेरा नल टूट गया, please आप किसी plumber को भेज दो अभी के अभी," and he's like, "मैम एक ही plumber है, वो इस घर में उस घर में है," like right? So better than that, just forget all that and just order from UrbanClap. So yeah, we're definitely going to make it easy, and that's how we've sustained for the last 4 years, and we are not going anywhere.
Okay. How tough is it as a working mother now that you have a infant and you obviously live alone with your husband here in Mumbai? So on a day-to-day basis, I mean, just tell us your experience, because I mean, as a male, I can't empathize because I will never have that experience. I'm sure a lot of people here won't, but I think it's important that we understand that side of life as well in general. So how do you manage?
So actually, you would empathize once you're in the situation, because Faiz finds it as difficult as I do to leave the house and go. But yeah, so that is when actually staying in a company for quite some time and being in the leadership and performing helps, because then the company trusts in you and they give you that flexibility. So the initial few months, I got massive support from my company, and that is how, till the time he was 1, I could handle things, and then the same old daycares and crutches, like, that's how life has to move on, yeah? Otherwise, you will have to take a backseat for your career, to which I have no problem at all. Like, but we as a family decided that we will kind of balance the entire parenthood and career, and took that call.
Do you travel a lot for work?
I used to in my previous role, where I was looking at multiple cities, but now since I am Mumbai head, not so much, only once in a while to the head office. And again, company is very supportive there.
In terms of joining the company, would you recommend students to look at, say, matured startups now, like UrbanClap, like join them straight from campus, as compared to maybe like you take some experience in a big organization and then enter? There are two kinds of companies you could join. You could either join a matured startup like UrbanClap, or you could be looking at a 4-year earlier version of UrbanClap, how you joined. Any thoughts about that?
So since most of you have work experience and you all know, and I'm assuming that it must, if not a startup, it must have been an MNC. For y'all, I would definitely say that for the first 2-3 years, to definitely take that plunge, like join a startup, because the kind of learning you will get, that ratio you gave of 1:7, I think that's nowhere close. Because I personally feel that in my 7 years of an MNC, I would have done still less than what I did in 1 year at UrbanClap. So there is no ratio that can do justice to the kind of impact you will create when you are in a startup. But to those who have not worked at all, I think how much ever we say, you would still want to experience that, jazzy, fancy MNC world where you're dressed up in a suit and a fancy bag with high heels, or high heels for the ladies, of course, and go there. But if it works out to be good for you, great. But if you still have that desire that, yaar, nahi, kuch to ukhadna hai, then I think you will take that call of switching into a startup yourself. So for y'all, I would leave it open. For those who have worked in an MNC, so to be very honest, okay, how many people have experienced Monday morning blues over here? So I'm very honestly, like, I don't get Monday morning blues, and I am 3.5 years old in my company. Monday mornings are not a struggle for me कि यार अभी उठ के यार शुरू करना है, इतना अच्छा weekend था. No, it's like any other day. It's fun. So I think because of the people around, the average age of my startup is what, 23, 24 years. So it's fun. It's a great place to be in. So you should start your career with this startup, because the kind of energy that is there and the kind of learning you will then bring to whatever you choose later in your life will be immense.
Can you tell us something about because we didn't touch upon that, your time on campus? Keeping Faiz aside, what else did you do on campus in those 2 years?
Faiz was there only for 1 year, okay. 1 year I spent alone.
So tell us about that. What did you do on campus?
So I was like I had my foot in a lot of things. I wasn't one of those who was completely into studies. While I maintained that balance because I didn't want to go too off on my GPA, so my aim was कि यार top 100 में रहना है. We were a batch of 450. So top 100 में रहना है. Top 10, 20 का कोई ambition नहीं था. So let's be in top 100, but do a lot of fun activities, like be a part of many clubs, like enjoy with your friends, because those set of friends really stick to you all the time. And so I was a part of the marketing club. I took part in a lot of competitions, and there are a lot of competitions that happen when you're on campus from different campuses and from different companies. So do take part in all of them, because when you work with different groups, those are the building blocks, right? When you come into an organization, you will work with different teams. So you would know team dynamics right from the campus. And how a campus will help you is, like, it wouldn't give you direct skills, but softer part is what will help you in out there. One is definitely team dynamics and people management skills. The second is your problem solving skills. So you may not realize it when you are solving those case studies in campus, but the way you solve those case studies, the structure, कि ये problem है, what should be the solution, that is the kind of thing that you will have to do in your real life also. So for instance, your boss will give you a problem. How much involvement he has in actually arriving at the solution will define how good or bad an employee you are. Like with minimum involvement of his, if you're able to arrive at the solution, that means he feels that he can give you a lot more responsibilities. And that you would start, like that kind of learning will start happening from the campus itself.
There is a lot of insecurity, during placements, especially because batch sizes have really gone up. I mean, Indore, I think now has some 600, 650 students to compete with. Other campuses have also increased their batch size. How does one manage that insecurity and fear? And because, I mean, I honestly can't relate to it because I was in a batch of 240. We were partying by the first week of February, like in 3 days, everybody was placed. I don't think those things happen anymore that easily. So, any views around managing placements and your head around placements?
So just have a diverse profile, because I can say from what the companies like look at. When I look at somebody to hire, I look at one solid point in their CV. Like their CV doesn't have to be full of amazing stuff, because we are just humans. We cannot have amazing acads as well as be like a basketball champion and be a music maestro. That is not possible. And if you have such a record, then please send me your resume. But just have that one thing that will set you apart from the crowd. It could be like winning a very prestigious debate somewhere, or winning a very good competition in campus. Don't run after everything. So that is for the prep to get placed. Actual placements, just keep your head cool, work on a lot of case studies and guesstimates, because that is something I think has become a norm in interviews, where people ask you like random stuff, like tell me how many Zomato delivery boys are there in Mumbai, or how many Uber drivers are there in Mumbai. Nobody is looking for the right answer, they are looking for the right approach. So as long as you have the approach right, it is fine. And don't panic if you don't get placed in the first 2-3 days. There are a lot of companies out there who don't go for placements to your campus. So feel free to reach out to them via LinkedIn. In fact, the other day I was discussing with a few of my colleagues that there are so many brilliant students who are looking out for a job, and we are constantly looking out for brilliant students. I don't know why we are never able to meet or at the right time. So I think that's important. Just keep connected. and reach out if you feel that, you know, you can really contribute or you see yourself contributing to a particular company. Just be at it and don't let campus placements decide or define who you are. Like it didn't define me. That's it.
Hi guys, we hope you like this video.
And if you did, hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon.
हाँ बस हो गया अभी काम भी कर लो.
हाँ ठीक है चलो.